to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. They gonna hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day, y'all a productive day. We back at it. Before I start, y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. We're on the road to 10K subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, turn the post notifications on. Want to find me on any other platform? My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visuals LOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE Visuals, and follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. So let's talk about it. So I want to do my prediction video for Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. If you guys don't know, they're fighting this weekend in Saudi Arabia. Brian Norman Jr. 28-0, 22 KOs. Devin Haney 32-0, 16 KOs. And both guys, Norman is coming off the Jin Sasaki fight, and Devin Haney is coming off the Ramirez fight. But all I've been hearing is confidence from this, from the Normans. But they've been very confident and adamant that they're gonna really hurt Devin Haney. Brian Norman said he vows to, put Devin Haney in the dirt come Saturday. And I wonder, is that a good idea for him? I'm not saying he can't think like that, but is that the game plan coming out? Because what if you don't get that knockout? You don't want to be in the fight chasing a knockout that you don't get, and now you done let the guy bank 7-8 rounds on you. So if you don't get that knockout, do you have a plan? That's what I'm that's what I'm at odds with. But that's Brian Norman, he's the younger guy, so he's gonna have that confidence. And Devin Haney, he's the more experienced guy in the situation, especially as far as big fight experience. He's been in there for some big fights, unlike Brian Norman. Brian Norman really is, he really needs this, being that he's with Top Rank, no home network right now. They kind of looking for a deal and trying to stay afloat. And Brian Norman Jr. losing right here doesn't do Top Rank any favors. They need their guys to win until they can get the company back afloat, because they have no network. ESPN is gonna pretty much done with them. That ESPN Plus stuff that didn't work out. I told you I really was never a fan of ESPN Plus. They really don't have anywhere to go. Networks are kind of going away from boxing. So if anything, Top Rank is gonna have to find them something, like a, they might have to, get with Paramount or something, but something like that, because right now they in a tough situation. So right now they just gotta loan their best fighters to Turkey, to keep them happy, and they just get their little piece, because they're kind of struggling right now. But as far as the fight, I think experience is gonna play a factor, especially being that Brian Norman has this idea that he's just gonna go out there and kill Devin Haney. I don't know, because Devin Haney is too good on his bicycle. So I think Brian Norman is gonna have to take things away from Devin Haney. And if we know what Devin Haney does best, is jab. And how do you take away a guy jab? You jab with the jabber. So it's gonna be that. If he can take away that and kind of get that under control, he has a chance to really beat Devin Haney. But if he doesn't take away his jab, he goes out there chasing Devin Haney, just trying to hurt him, it's going to be a long night. It really is going to be a long night for Brian Norman Jr. And it's going to be hard for them to shake back after talking so much. His dad, they've been really going at it, and I'm ready to see it. I've waited enough, for this fight. I'm tired of kind of waiting all the talking, but you know, they gotta do it for promotion. But this is a big fight, you know. It's not really a guy at welterweight, and I think whoever wins this kind of solidifies himself as that guy at welterweight, you know, in my opinion. You know, I don't think, you know, Barrios or, you know, none of the guys right now at welterweight hold any substance. So, you know, Devin Haney is making a great decision with the jump up. You know, he'll be a 3-division champion if he wins. Brian Norman gets to add a great name on his resume if he wins. So, you know, the sky's the limit for either guy. But right now, I think, you know, the more technical, skilled fighter is Devin Haney. But I think Brian Norman is the more athletic. You know, he has the more power. He's the naturally bigger guy in this situation. So I can kind of see why guys like him. But if you ask me, I wouldn't just say Devin Haney is far-fetched as far as athleticism. You know, he doesn't really have crazy power, but I don't think you just really need crazy power. You know, I just feel like if he got respectable power to keep Brian Norman off of him, I feel like he should do fine. But if, you know, Brian Norman just try to, you know, put his mittens up and walk forward, I don't think it's going to be a good idea. Because Devin's just going to jab, get on his bicycle, and box all night. But if Brian Norman can, you know, find a way to cut off the ring and get rid of that jab, I think he has a better shot. But if he doesn't do that, I can't just really say, you know, I see Brian Norman just winning this convincing. He has to do those two things to, you know, make me feel comfortable enough to take him and win this fight. But, you know, he sounds like he has all the confidence in the world going against Devin Haney. He sounds like he knows something that we don't know. And that's kind of scaring me, you know. He's coming like, yeah, I got Devin Haney's card. I know what I need to do, you know. But, you know, Devin seems kind of, you know, calm about the situation. You know, he's not really paying attention. You know, he thinks that, you know, Brian Norman is just being pushed into the fire. And you know, Top Rank has to push him in the fire. So you can kind of see where Devin Haney goes. So both guys, you know, we're gonna see about all that talking. We're gonna see which guy was serious and meant what they said, because the 22nd is 4 days away. So they're fighting Saturday. So it should be soon, you know. So I'm ready to see it. Yep. I think it's Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, the 22nd. No, it's this weekend for sure. But yeah, so I'm ready to see it. You know, both guys, stylistically, is made for a good fight. You know, Brian Norman isn't just the box guy. He wants to hurt you. You know, we've seen him hurt guys too. I've seen him hurt. We've seen him put Jen Sasaki out. Santiago, we've seen what he did there. You know, he has talent. It's just, you know, can he put all this talent together and handle business tonight? I mean, you know, this weekend. We've seen Devin Haney get the job done. We know he has what it takes to go in a big fight and win. We just don't know about Brian Norman. You know, I feel like Brian Norman is the only untested one here. You know, but I feel like the fight's going to be good. I just feel like it's really just two ways, because I feel like Devin's going to do what he does. Brian Norman really wants to win the fight. He can't just go out there and try to play rock'em, sock'em, boxing. You know, I'm just going to knock this guy out and come forward. No, he's going to lose convincingly. But if he goes in there with the idea of, I need to take away this guy's jab and cut the ring off, for sure he has a chance. You know, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Who you guys have winning? I think as far as who I like Devin Haney. I still think kind of Brian Norman is younger as far as experience, and I feel like the experience is gonna let, you know, Devin Haney bank rounds, and he's gonna get on his bicycle and control distance. So that's why I like Devin Haney here. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. On the road to 10K subscribers, hit that subscribe button. Turn up on notifications. Don't find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. I love you guys so much. I'm out.